help me reach 1,000 subscribers. Please like the video and share your thoughts on the video. Your feedback helps make the contents better. Now let's get to the story.
My name is David Chen. I'm 42 years old, and I'm standing in a courtroom watching my wife of 15 years smile like she just won the lottery. And technically, she thinks she has. Her lawyer is reading off the settlement terms. The house, both cars, the vacation property in Lake Tahoe, the investment portfolio, everything except our 8-year-old daughter, Emma. That's the one thing Monica didn't want. "Just sign it," Monica whispers to her lawyer, loud enough for me to hear. He's finally being smart for once. My lawyer, Richard, is gripping my arm like he's trying to physically stop me from committing financial suicide. "David, please, this is insane. We can fight this. She's not entitled to—" "Give it all to her," I say calmly, picking up the pen. Richard looks like he's watching someone jump off a cliff. Monica's smile gets wider. Her lawyer, some shark in a $1,000 suit, is practically salivating. The judge asks me 3 times if I'm sure, if I understand what I'm signing away. I nod each time, sign my name with a flourish that would make John Hancock proud, and hand the papers back. That's when I see it, just for a second. Monica's lawyer glances at a document in his file, and his face goes from victory tan to morgue gray in about 2 seconds flat. He leans over to whisper something to Monica, but she waves him off, too busy texting someone, probably her boyfriend Kyle. Yeah, I know about Kyle. I've known for 8 months. Before we continue, I want to take a moment to thank you for being here. If this story resonates with you, please subscribe and ring that bell. And for our friends in the US and the Philippines, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Your voice truly matters to us, and it helps us grow and connect on a deeper level. Let me back up a bit. 6 months ago, my life looked perfect from the outside. I had a beautiful wife, a smart daughter, a comfortable home in Sacramento, and a business I'd built from nothing. That business, Chen Logistics, started in a garage 12 years ago with 1 truck and a dream. Monica always said she believed in me, supported me through the lean years when we ate ramen 4 nights a week and our idea of a date was splitting a pizza. The truth? She tolerated those years. The second the money started flowing, her support turned into entitlement. But I didn't see it. I was too busy working 70-hour weeks, building something I thought was our future. Then, one Tuesday evening, I came home early because Emma's school had called saying she was sick. I found Emma on the couch watching cartoons, perfectly healthy. Mom said to tell them I was sick, she told me, confused why I was confused. Monica's car was in the garage. I heard voices upstairs. You can guess the rest. I stood outside our bedroom door and listened to my wife and Kyle, her personal trainer, because of course it was the personal trainer, making plans, not just affair plans, divorce plans. "Once I take him for everything, we can finally start our life together," Monica said. "He's too stupid to see it coming. He'll probably agree to whatever I ask just to avoid conflict. He always does." Kyle laughed. That laugh made something crack inside my chest. "What about the kid?" "She's his problem. I never wanted kids anyway. David was the one pushing for it." I stood there for exactly 90 seconds, listening to them destroy the past 15 years of my life. Then I went back downstairs, told Emma we'd order pizza for dinner, and started planning. Not an emotional breakdown, not a confrontation, planning. See, Monica was right about one thing. I'd built Chen Logistics from nothing, and that took a specific kind of intelligence, not the showy kind, the quiet, strategic kind, the kind that plays the long game. The next day, I hired a private investigator, not Richard, he came later. I hired a forensic accountant, I hired a business consultant, and I started making changes, subtle ones, the kind Monica wouldn't notice because she'd never actually cared about how the business worked. She just liked what the business bought. Chen Logistics had always been structured simply. I owned it outright, and it was profitable. Very profitable. We grossed about $8 million a year, and after expenses, I was taking home a comfortable 7-figure salary. That's what the tax returns showed. That's what Monica's lawyer would see. But here's something funny about business ownership. It's all about how you structure things. Over the next 6 months, while Monica thought I was clueless about her affair, I restructured everything. I brought in my brother James as a 50% partner, on paper anyway. In reality, James signed documents giving me full control, but Monica's lawyers would see a business that was now only half mine. I transferred most of the valuable client contracts to a new entity, Chen Freight Solutions, owned by a trust that Emma was the primary beneficiary of, managed by me as trustee. Completely legal, completely airtight. Chen Logistics still existed, still made money, but about 70% of the actual value had migrated to this new structure. The house, I'd bought it 12 years ago, right before we got married, with money I'd saved and a loan my parents co-signed. I had documentation. In California, that made it partially separate property, but I knew Monica would fight for it anyway, so I let her. Because that house had a secret, a massive HELOC I'd taken out 6 months ago. Home equity line of credit for those not familiar. I'd borrowed against almost all the equity, and that money went straight into the trust for Emma. The cars were leased. The Lake Tahoe property, also mortgaged to the gills now, with the money safely tucked away in investments Monica's lawyers couldn't touch. The investment portfolio she'd seen on our statements, that was the decoy portfolio. The real money was somewhere much safer. Every move was legal, every move was documented, every move was invisible to someone who didn't understand business structure and asset protection. I spent 6 months essentially giving myself a financial vasectomy, making sure that when Monica tried to take everything, she'd be grabbing an empty bag. And I played my part perfectly. The hurt husband, the conflict-avoidant nice guy, the man who just wanted to make it all go away. Richard almost quit on me 17 times because he thought I was being a doormat. David, please, this is insane. We can fight this. She's not entitled to give it all to her, I say calmly, picking up the pen.
I know, I said calmly. Give her what she wants. But back to the courtroom. The judge finalizes everything. Monica gets the house, the cars, the Lake Tahoe place, half the business, and the investment portfolio. I get Emma and a modest monthly income from my remaining business interest. Monica looks like she's about to float away with happiness. Her lawyer still looks sick, but she's not paying attention to him. We walk out of the courthouse. Monica's parked her new BMW. Technically, it's been hers for 3 years, but now it's officially hers, right in front. I'm walking to my modest Honda with Emma's hand in mine. "Daddy, are we poor now?" Emma asks. She's 8, but she's sharp. She knows something big just happened. "No, baby girl," I tell her. "We're exactly where we need to be." That night, Monica calls me. She's breathless, almost manic. "I just wanted to say thank you for being reasonable about everything. I know this was hard for you." The sheer audacity. "Sure, Monica. I just want you to be happy." "I am. Finally." There's a pause. "Kyle and I are moving into the house next week. I assume you'll have all your stuff out by then?" "Already done," I say. I'd been slowly moving things for months. She never noticed. "Great. And David, I think it's better if Emma doesn't come around much at first. Kyle and I need time to settle in, and you know how kids can be disruptive." I close my eyes, take a breath. "Whatever you think is best." After I hang up, I pour myself a whiskey, Macallan 18, the bottle I've been saving, and I smile. Not a nice smile, the kind of smile a cat gives a mouse before the final pounce. Because here's what Monica's lawyer figured out too late. Yes, she got the house with a $700,000 HELOC that she's now responsible for. Monthly payment? About $4,200. She got both cars, but they're leased, and those leases come with $1,800 in monthly payments combined. The Lake Tahoe property? It's got a mortgage of $450,000 on a property worth maybe $500,000, with monthly payments around $2,800. She got half the business that's now worth about 70% less than it was because all the valuable assets migrated to the trust. Her half generates maybe $120,000 a year before taxes. Not nothing, but not what she thought she was getting. And that investment portfolio, it was real, but most of it was in high-fee funds that I'd deliberately chosen because they looked impressive on statements. In a good year, they might return 4%. After fees, closer to 2%. She got about $400,000 in that portfolio. Sounds like a lot until you do the math on what she needs to maintain the lifestyle she thinks she just secured. Let's add it up. Between the HELOC, car leases, and Lake Tahoe mortgage, Monica's looking at about $8,800 per month in payments. That's $105,600 per year, not counting property taxes, insurance, utilities, and maintenance. Her income from the business is maybe $120,000 before taxes. After taxes, call it $80,000. The investment portfolio might kick off another $8,000 per year if she's lucky. She's upside down by at least $20,000 per year, and that's before she buys groceries or puts gas in those leased BMWs. I give her 6 months before she figures it out. Meanwhile, Emma and I moved into a nice 3-bedroom rental in a good school district. Not fancy, but comfortable. My remaining business interest pays me about $150,000 a year on paper, enough to look modest but not destitute. The trust generates another $600,000 or so annually, all going toward Emma's future and our actual living expenses. I'm not rich on paper anymore, but we're more than fine. 2 months after the divorce finalizes, I get the first text from Monica. "Why didn't you tell me about the HELOC?" "I never asked," I replied. "Your lawyer had access to all the financial documents during discovery." "He did. It was all there. They just didn't bother to read carefully because they thought they were taking candy from a baby." 3 weeks later, "The business income isn't what I thought it would be." "The economy's tough. I'm barely making ends meet, too." That last part makes me smile every time. Around month 4, I hear through mutual friends that Monica and Kyle are fighting. Money problems. Shocking. Kyle thought he was moving in with a wealthy divorcee. Instead, he's living with someone who's hemorrhaging cash and getting increasingly panicked about it. If you're still watching, hit that subscribe button because the revenge is just getting started, and you won't believe what Monica tries next. Trust me, this is where things get really interesting. Month 5, Monica calls, not texts, calls. "David, I need to talk to you about modifying the settlement." "What about it?" I think there might have been some misunderstanding about the assets. My lawyer says." "Monica, we had lawyers. We had a judge. You got exactly what you asked for. What's the problem?" "The problem is that I can't afford this. The house payment alone is killing me, and the business isn't generating nearly what—" "What you thought it would?" I finished. "Yeah, logistics is a tough business. It's why I worked 70 hours a week for years. Remember that? You used to complain I was never home." Silence. Then, "This isn't fair." The laugh that comes out of me is dark enough to qualify as a supervillain origin story. "Fair? You cheated on me for 8 months. You told your boyfriend you never wanted our daughter. You schemed to take everything I'd built while I was working to support our family. And you think this isn't fair?" More silence. "You got exactly what you asked for, Monica. I was very generous. Unreasonably generous, some might say." "You tricked me," she says, and there's real anger there now. "I gave you exactly what you demanded. That's not a trick. That's called consequences. You just never bothered to understand what you were actually taking." She hangs up. I pour another whiskey. Month 6, I hear she's trying to sell the Lake Tahoe property. Good luck in that market, underwater as she is. She lists the house, too, our old house, the one she couldn't wait to move Kyle into. But she owes more than it's worth now, and even if she sells it, she'll walk away with nothing after paying off that HELOC. The cars get returned to the dealership. I hear through the grapevine that Kyle moved out. Apparently, a personal trainer's salary doesn't cover the lifestyle Monica promised him.
Month 7, Monica's lawyer contacts Richard about possibly renegotiating the settlement. Richard calls me, laughing so hard he can barely speak. "They're claiming you engaged in fraudulent asset concealment. They want to reopen the case." "Can they?" "David, you didn't conceal anything. You restructured your business legally. You disclosed all debts. Every single document was available during discovery. They just didn't do their homework. The judge will laugh them out of court. Besides, the settlement is final." "So what do I do?" "Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're golden." That night, Emma and I make pizza from scratch, something we've been doing every Tuesday. She's happier now than she's been in years. No more tension in the house. No more hearing her mother complain about her father. Just us, making terrible jokes and getting flour everywhere. "Dad," she says while we're waiting for the pizza to bake. "Yeah, baby?" I'm glad it's just us. Is that bad? I pull her into a hug. No, sweetheart, that's not bad at all. She's happier now than she's been in years. No more tension in the house. No more hearing her mother complain about her father. Just us, making terrible jokes and getting flour everywhere. Dad, she says while we're waiting for the pizza to bake. Yeah, baby? I'm glad it's just us. Is that bad? I pull her into a hug. No, sweetheart, that's not bad at all. Mom's new house is nice, but she's always stressed when I visit. And Kyle was kind of mean. My jaw tightens. Mean how? Just, he acted like I was in the way. I heard him tell Mom that kids are expensive and maybe I should stay with you more. You don't have to go over there if you don't want to, I tell her. You're old enough to have a say in where you spend your time. She nods against my chest. I want to stay here, with you. That moment right there, that's worth more than every dollar Monica thought she was taking. Month 8, Monica shows up at my rental. She looks tired. The BMW is gone. She's driving a used Honda Civic. When I open the door, she just stands there for a moment. Can I come in? Emma's here. I know. I came to see her and to talk to you. I let her in because I'm not a complete monster and because Emma deserves to see her mother if she wants to. Emma gives her a polite hug, the kind you give distant relatives at Thanksgiving, and then asks if she can watch TV in her room. Monica's face crumbles a little at that lukewarm reception, but she nods. We sit at my kitchen table. She looks around at the modest rental, at the life I'm living that looks so much smaller than what she took from me. I'm sorry, she says finally. For what specifically? There's a lot to choose from. She flinches. All of it. The affair, what I said about Emma, trying to take everything. I was stupid and selfish, and I convinced myself you deserved it somehow, that you were neglecting us, that you didn't care anymore. I was building a future for our family. I know that now. She's crying. Real tears, not manipulation. I lost everything, David. The house is in foreclosure. I had to declare bankruptcy. Kyle left the second things got hard. I'm living with my sister and working at a call center because no one will hire me for anything better at my age without recent experience. And Emma doesn't even want to see me. I should feel triumph. This is what I planned for, worked for, the total destruction of the woman who tried to destroy me. But sitting across from her, watching her cry into her hands, I mostly just feel tired. You didn't lose everything, Monica. You lost things, stuff, assets. You still have your health, your family, your life. You just don't have my money anymore. She looks up at me. You knew. All along, you knew what you were doing. Of course I did. I built a multi-million-dollar business from nothing. Did you really think I was stupid enough not to protect it? Not to protect Emma's future? I thought you loved me too much to fight back. I did love you, past tense, but I love my daughter more, and I love myself enough not to let someone rob me blind just because we signed a paper 15 years ago. Monica wipes her eyes. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't even know why I came here. Maybe I just needed you to know that you won, completely, utterly. I have nothing. You have a chance to rebuild, I say, and I mean it. You're only 40. You're smart when you want to be. You can start over, just not with my money and not at Emma's expense. She nods slowly. Can I ask you something? Sure. Did you ever really love me, or was I always just part of the plan? I think about that. About the 23-year-old girl I met at a friend's barbecue who laughed at my jokes and believed in me when I had nothing. About the woman who held my hand when my father died. About the complicated, flawed person who gave me the best thing in my life, Emma. I loved who you were, I tell her honestly. I don't know when you became who you are now. Maybe it was gradual. Maybe I missed the signs because I was too busy working. But yeah, I loved you. Once. She stands up. I should go. Tell Emma I love her. Tell her yourself. She's right down the hall. Monica walks to Emma's door, knocks softly. I hear low voices. Emma's tentative, Monica's thick with tears. When Monica leaves 10 minutes later, Emma comes out. She said she's sorry. Do I have to forgive her? No, baby. Forgiveness is earned, not owed. But maybe someday, if she shows you she's changed, you can consider it. Or not. That's entirely up to you. Emma nods, processing this with the seriousness of someone much older than 8. Dad, are we going to be okay? I pull her close. We're going to be better than okay. I promise. 1 year after the divorce, I'm at Chen Freight Solutions headquarters, the company Monica never knew was the real golden goose. We've just landed a major contract with Amazon. My brother James, who's been a godsend with the business expansion, shakes my hand. You know what the best part of all this is? He says. What's that? You didn't become a bitter asshole. You got revenge, sure, but you didn't lose yourself doing it. He's right. I could have rubbed Monica's face in it, could have made her life even harder, but the revenge was never about destroying her. It was about protecting Emma and myself, about making sure that when someone tried to take everything I built, they found out exactly what they were really taking. Consequences.
Monica and I have a functioning co-parenting relationship now. She sees Emma twice a month, takes her for pizza and movies, activities she can afford. She's working her way back, slowly. Got promoted to supervisor at the call center, started taking online classes. She'll never have the life she thought she was taking from me, but she's building something real for herself. Emma is thriving. Straight A's, soccer team, and a smile that lights up every room. The trust fund I set up will send her to any college she wants, debt-free. She'll inherit a successful business when she's ready. More importantly, she's learning what real love looks like, the kind that protects, that sacrifices, that endures. As for me, I'm dating someone new. Sarah, a civil engineer I met at a logistics conference. She has her own money, her own career, her own life. We take things slow. Emma likes her. That matters more than anything else. Sometimes I drive past the old house. New owners now, a young family with 2 kids and a dog. They've painted it blue, added a swing set in the backyard. It looks happy. It looks nothing like the monument to materialism Monica turned it into. I don't miss it, not even a little. The final revenge? It's not financial ruin or public humiliation. It's this. Monica has to live every day knowing she gave up everything real. A man who loved her, a daughter who adored her, a comfortable life built on actual partnership for nothing. She chose temporary comfort over lasting love, immediate gratification over long-term security, and she lost it all because she couldn't see the difference between taking things and building them. Me? I'm building again. But this time I'm building with people who value what we're creating together. People who understand that the real wealth isn't in houses or cars or investment portfolios. It's in the relationships we nurture, the values we teach our children, and the integrity we maintain even when we're tempted to throw it away. Emma asked me recently if I was happy. We were driving back from one of her soccer games, windows down, her trophy for most improved player sitting on her lap. Yeah, baby, I told her, I really am. Even after everything with Mom? Especially after everything with Mom, because now we know what matters. She thought about that. We matter, you and me. That's exactly right. And that, right there, is the perfect revenge. Not that Monica lost everything, but that Emma and I gained everything that actually counts. We didn't just survive, we built something better from the ashes of what she tried to destroy. Monica took everything except what she should have wanted most. And in the end, that's the only thing that mattered anyway. The final paperwork from Monica's lawyer arrives 6 months later, the official withdrawal of their request to reopen the settlement. Richard frames it and sends it to me with a note. Beautiful work. You should teach a masterclass. I hang it in my home office, right above Emma's artwork and her honor roll certificates. Not as a trophy, but as a reminder. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about destroying your enemy, it's about building a life so good that their betrayal becomes irrelevant. Every night, I tuck Emma in, and she tells me about her day, her dreams, her fears, her hopes. We talk about her mother without anger, about the future without anxiety, about life with genuine excitement. And every night, before I turn off her light, I think about that moment in the courtroom when Monica smiled, thinking she'd won everything. She had no idea that in taking everything, she'd gotten nothing. And in keeping only what mattered, I'd gained the whole world. Thanks for sticking with me through this whole journey.
If David's story taught you anything about protecting what matters most, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about people who got the last laugh. Now I'm curious, drop a comment below and tell me where you're watching from and what you would have done differently in David's situation. Would you have fought harder in court, or would you have played the long game like he did? Big shout out to our viewers from the United States, the Philippines, and Canada. You three always show up in the comments with the best insights and the realest takes. Seriously, some of the advice and perspectives you guys drop could be stories on their own. Keep that energy coming, because I read every comment, and your stories inspire the next ones I tell. So, drop that location, share your thoughts, and let's keep this conversation going. See you in the next one.